What is up, iPad Focus fam? Get ready to dive headfirst into the absolute latest buzzing from the tech world, because today is not the day to look away. We're talking about those game-changing updates that everyone will be talking about, and you're getting the inside scoop right here, right now. The pace of innovation is relentless, and we're here to keep you ahead of the curve with the most crucial developments. From the devices you love to the regulations shaping your digital future, we've got it all covered. So buckle up, because this is iPad Focus, and we're about to break down what you need to know. First up, a potential design shakeup for a device you might already own or are eagerly anticipating. We're getting our first glimpse at what could be the next iteration of popular audio gear, and there's a surprising, and for some, a controversial change on the horizon. Is this a step forward or a step back for user experience? We're digging into the details that could redefine how you interact with your tech. Then, we're jetting over to the UK, where new regulations are causing a stir, potentially impacting the features you receive. Apple is pushing back, and the implications for users and developers alike are massive. What does this mean for the speed of innovation and the availability of new tools? We've got the breakdown. And if that wasn't enough, we're looking at how these regulatory shifts are already impacting app distribution, with a prominent app being pulled from an alternative marketplace. Is this a sign of things to come, or an isolated incident? We'll uncover the story. Finally, get ready to mark your calendars, because a major product launch date has reportedly been leaked, and it's sooner than you think. We're talking about the next generation of flagship devices, and the rumors are flying. Don't miss out on any of it. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and let's get into it. A button's fate, AirPods Pro 3 design leak sparks debate. Get ready for a potential shift in your audio experience. While Apple typically guards its upcoming products with legendary secrecy, whispers are growing louder about the next generation of AirPods Pro expected to debut alongside the highly anticipated iPhone 17 lineup. The AirPods Pro 3 have been relatively quiet in the leak cycle, with the most persistent rumor pointing towards integrated heart rate sensors. However, a recent report from Majinboo Official, citing accessory makers, has potentially unveiled a significant design change for the charging case. The leak suggests the new case might be slightly smaller than its predecessor, though the provided dimensions indicate a size very similar to the current AirPods Pro 2 case. It's also expected to retain the convenient lanyard loop. The most talked about alteration, however, is the potential removal of the physical button on the back of the case, replaced by a touch-sensitive panel on the front. This mirrors a change already seen in the AirPods 4 models, but it's a move that raises questions about user experience and functionality. The physical button on current AirPods models serves a critical purpose. It's the key to pairing with non-Apple devices and, crucially, for resetting the earbuds when they encounter issues. The tactile feedback of pressing a physical button provides a clear, undeniable confirmation that the action is being performed. Users know they've pressed it, and they feel the mechanism engage. This certainty is invaluable, especially when troubleshooting. In contrast, a touch panel, while sleek, relies on visual or auditory cues to confirm input. If the electronics are experiencing problems, the very reason you might need to reset them, these cues might not function correctly, leaving the user in a state of uncertainty. Did the touch register? Is the reset happening? This is where the concept of affordances in user experience design comes into play. A physical button inherently signals its function. You see it, you know you can press it, and you feel it. While touch controls can be designed with visual and haptic feedback, their reliability can be compromised when the device itself is not functioning optimally. Many users, myself included, appreciate the tangible assurance that a physical button provides for such essential functions. Beyond the button debate, anticipation is high for other potential upgrades, including improved sound quality, enhanced active noise cancellation, a new H3 chip for faster performance and smarter features, and likely a price increase reflecting industry trends. This leak, though focused on a single design element, adds another layer of confirmation that the AirPods Pro 3 are indeed on their way, likely within the next few weeks. While the presence or absence of a button might seem minor, it touches upon the fundamental principles of user interaction and reliability. Will this design change truly impact your daily use? Get ready, because we're diving into how new regulations are making waves in the UK tech scene. UK regulation sparks Apple's feature rollout warning. The United Kingdom's regulatory landscape is undergoing a significant transformation, with the Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, designating Apple and Google as entities with strategic market status. This designation brings both tech giants under a new set of rules, many of which echo the stringent requirements of Europe's Digital Markets Act, DMA. In response to these proposed changes, Apple has issued a strong statement, warning that users in the UK might experience slower rollouts of new features. The core of Apple's argument, as reported by the BBC, is that the proposed regulations are bad for users and bad for developers. This stance is a familiar one for Apple, which has previously cited regulatory hurdles as a reason for delaying or withholding new features in Europe. The company is signaling a similar approach could be taken in the UK if the Digital Markets, Competition and Consumers Act, DMCC, is implemented as planned. The DMCC aims to foster greater competition and address anti-competitive concerns, particularly in areas like anti-steering provisions, interoperability, and app developer regulations. Apple's primary concern appears to be the potential impact on user privacy and security. The company argues that the UK's proposed interoperability rules, for instance, undermines the privacy and security protections our users have come to expect, hampers our ability to innovate, and forces us to give away our technology for free to foreign competitors. Apple is particularly critical of anti-steering provisions, which they believe could open the door to scams and threaten the security of users. These are serious allegations, highlighting Apple's commitment to its integrated ecosystem and the security measures it employs. However, the CMA has countered Apple's claims, stating that the proposed rules are less extensive than the DMA and are more limited in scope. The regulator emphasizes that its focus on interoperability, specifically for features like digital wallets and watches, is intended to empower UK developers to create innovative new applications without compromising user privacy, security, or intellectual property. The CMA asserts its goal is to drive competition while safeguarding these critical user aspects. This regulatory tension underscores a broader global debate about the power of tech giants and the balance between innovation, competition, and user protection. Other major tech companies, including Google, Meta, Anthropic, and OpenAI, have also faced similar challenges, with some having already withheld or delayed releases in Europe due to data policy concerns. The situation in the UK is a clear indicator of the evolving regulatory environment for major technology platforms, and how these companies are strategizing their responses to ensure continued growth and operational flexibility in different markets. The outcome of these discussions will undoubtedly shape the future of digital services and feature availability for millions of users. Will this regulatory push lead to a fragmented digital experience? Stay tuned as we uncover why a popular torrent app has just been removed from an alternative iOS store in Europe. Apple pulls iTorrent from EU Alt Store, raising questions about DMA's reach. In a move that has sent ripples through the burgeoning alternative app distribution landscape in Europe, Apple has reportedly removed the iPhone torrent client, iTorrent, from AltStore Pal, a popular third-party iOS marketplace. This action suggests that even with the advent of the EU's Digital Markets Act, DMA, which aims to open up iOS to greater competition and alternative app sources, Apple can still exert significant control over apps operating outside its official app store. The developer of iTorrent, Daniel Vinogradov, confirmed the removal and stated that Apple has revoked his distribution rights for any alternative iOS stores. This implies the issue is not specific to AltStore Pal, but rather a broader action taken at the developer account level by Apple. Vinogradov expressed on iTorrent's GitHub page that Apple removed the alternative distribution functionality from iTorrent's developer portal without any warning, and has not provided a specific reason for this action. The situation is currently being investigated by AltStore Pal, as the implications of Apple's decision could affect other developers looking to distribute apps through these new channels. Historically, Apple has maintained a strict policy against torrenting applications on its official App Store. However, the DMA was intended to provide iPhone users within the EU with more freedom to install apps from sources other than the App Store, thereby fostering a more competitive market. iTorrent was initially added to AltStore Pal in July of last year, making its recent removal particularly noteworthy and prompting questions about the timing and the specific triggers for Apple's intervention. While Apple has yet to issue a formal statement explaining the revocation of Vinogradov's distribution rights, the move raises critical questions about the boundaries and enforcement of the DMA. Does Apple's action indicate a loophole or an interpretation of the DMA that allows it to police apps on third-party stores, even if they are not directly hosted on Apple's platform? Or is this a targeted action against an app whose functionality might be perceived as problematic by Apple, regardless of the distribution method? The developer's claim of being blocked at the Apple dev account level suggests a deep-seated restriction. This incident could serve as a crucial test case for the DMA, highlighting the challenges in balancing Apple's established ecosystem controls with the EU's mandate for increased openness and competition. As the investigation by AltStore Pal unfolds, and potentially as Apple provides further clarification, the tech community will be watching closely to understand how these new regulations truly translate into practical freedom for developers and users in the European market. The ability of Apple to seemingly revoke distribution rights across alternative platforms could significantly temper the anticipated growth and diversity of app stores within the EU. Will this signal a new era of app control in Europe? Get ready to circle your calendars, because the launch date for the next generation of iPhones might have just been leaked. iPhone 17 series launch date reportedly leaked for September 9th event. Tech enthusiasts, get ready to mark your calendars. A new report has surfaced, strongly suggesting that Apple will unveil its highly anticipated iPhone 17 lineup on September 9th. This date, if accurate, aligns with Apple's traditional September launch cycle for its flagship smartphones, building excitement for what promises to be a significant upgrade across its product range. The upcoming series is expected to include the iPhone 17 Pro Max, iPhone 17 Pro, the standard iPhone 17, and the iPhone 17 Plus. While specific details remain speculative until the official announcement, industry insiders and leakers have been providing glimpses into potential design changes, feature enhancements, and performance upgrades. Rumors suggest that the Pro models might feature a refined design, possibly incorporating a more durable frame and an updated camera system designed to capture even more stunning photography and videography. The integration of Apple's next-generation A-series chip is a given, promising a substantial leap in processing power and efficiency, which will likely benefit everything from demanding applications to everyday multitasking. Furthermore, there's considerable anticipation surrounding potential advancements in display technology, with speculation about improved brightness, color accuracy, and perhaps even new interactive elements. Beyond the hardware, the software experience will undoubtedly be a key focus, with iOS 19 expected to debut alongside the new iPhones, bringing a host of new features and user interface refinements. The iPhone 17 series is also rumored to potentially include enhanced battery life, addressing a perennial concern for smartphone users and possibly new connectivity options. The timing of this leak is particularly interesting, coming ahead of a major Apple event where other products, such as updated AirPods and potentially new Apple Watch models, are also expected to be announced. The consistent September launch window for iPhones has become a predictable rhythm in the tech calendar, and this latest report reinforces that expectation. As the alleged launch date draws nearer, the volume of leaks and rumors is likely to intensify, offering a clearer picture of what consumers can expect. Apple's ability to maintain an element of surprise diminishes with each passing year, but the core appeal of their product launches, innovation, design, and ecosystem integration continues to captivate the market. This September event is shaping up to be another pivotal moment for Apple, setting the stage for the company's direction in the coming year and reaffirming the iPhone's position as a leading smartphone in the global market. Users and industry analysts will be keenly observing the official announcement to see how these rumors and expectations translate into tangible features and offerings. Will these new iPhones live up to the hype? That's all the news for today, but don't go anywhere. We've got a quick recap coming right up. And that's a wrap on today's top tech stories. We saw a potential design change for the AirPods Pro 3 that's got us talking, Apple warning the UK about slower feature rollouts due to new regulations, and a torrent app being pulled from an EU alternative store. Plus, the iPhone 17 launch date might have just leaked for September 9th. Don't miss out on any future updates. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, leave a comment with your thoughts, and give us a follow on all our socials to stay in the loop. See you next time.